Are y'all canceling Carl again? Is this strike two, or are y'all gonna give him one more chance for good, or what is the tea? What is happening, Neil? Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Love Island USA Season 8 postseason. And there's a lot of content I actually owe you guys. And my apologies and everything else. We're going to get back into it. But in this video, we need to talk about the Carl and ANIYA and the KC of it all. You guys, because the internet exploded yesterday. I mean, all social media platforms actively crashing out, actively turning on Carl and actively calling him witness, not even addressing him by his first name. And then there was a crash out spaces on the Twitter/X that was completely unhinged and out of control. Like there was infighting with each other. I believe when I got in there, it was up to like almost 700 people in there. Basically saying, Carl, this ain't it. Carl, this ain't a good look. I'm Team ANIYA moving forward. And here's the thing before we get into the things, right? I keep trying to tell y'all, this show is for the women. Love Island is for the women. It is about supporting the women on this show. But some of y'all like to put these men on a pedestal. Some of y'all believe in your heart of hearts that all of these Love Island USA men or certain ones that appear to be the quote-unquote good guy on the show are the next Cordell. And y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all need to stop comparing these men to Cordell because up until this point, nobody has showed me any Cordell traits. Up until this point, nobody has showed me any Cordell traits. So I think we need to nip that in the bud. And y'all also got mad at me before when I told y'all you need to give these Love Island men a full entire calendar year after the show is over, after the reunion is over, after they get out of this villa, so you can see how they treat the ladies they are in a relationship with. And that if there is suspect things, you need to be taking notes. Now, what has happened before we get into the Casey and the Carl of it all? When Carl first got his phone back and he was liking and commenting and following all these Carnaya shippers and liking all types of posts, and there was even posts in there that might have had a messy caption about Casey, or if you watch the video entirely through, might have thrown some shade or some shots at Casey. I don't know if Carl saw it in its entirety or not, or if he was just feeling the buzz of all the love that he was receiving from his appearance on the show, right? I've also made a note as well that Carl consistently makes jokes about ANIYA not choosing him at that first initial Casa recoupling, and people also talk about the fact that KC always had brought up on the show and everything else that ANIYA never chose him, right? From the first day, right? But she chose him after that, right? We fast forward to the first public appearance of Carl, which is on Watch What Happens Live with ANIYA, Trinity, and Bryce. And then the next time Carl was getting drug up and through this internet was due to a question that was asked on the after show, which was about none other than KC. And basically Carl said that he disagreed with what KC said, but ultimately also understood that, you know, there are cameras in front of your face and sometimes you don't realize that the camera's there, that you're saying some things that are not going to be cool. And then he also said as well that he grew up playing football and had been in several locker rooms with other men, and that is quote unquote locker room talk. So people took that piece of the comment and interpreted as though Carl was basically saying what Casey said about ANIYA was not a big deal because that's the type of talk that men have when they're not around the ladies. So people drug Carl up and throw it there. Carl had to, at the time, I believe, turn off the comments on his Instagram stories. It was bad out there for Carl. People were very pissed off at Carl, right? So we know that the reunion had taped, you guys, last week. We know at the beginning of last week, we had the reunion taping. We do not know officially what happened at this reunion. However, there have been several leaks, right? There have been several alleged leaks of what did or didn't happen in the reunion, but we will not have official confirmation until we see the reunion for ourselves, which will be on August 31st, which for me personally cannot get here soon enough. Cannot get here soon enough, right? So when we get over to the KC of it all, right? So as you know, the reunion was filmed, everything else, right? There was a video with Melanie and I believe Sincere and I believe with KC and I believe with Corbin. And there was a plan for everybody to go to the fair together on a Thursday. Thursday, fast forward to last Thursday. And I see KC and Tay, and I see Corbin and Parmita separate but together. I didn't see any Melanie there, but Melanie got drugged for just even being in a conversation with Casey. Because people thought, how could you be cool with the guy that was laughing with Tay and calling you a dumb ASS and also being, you know, besties with ANIYA? Fast forward to yesterday. Casey also, the day before that or a couple days before that, he had posted on the YouTube a video vlog of the time at the fair, at the carnival, and ultimately some people had some issues with a couple of clips and were comparing Casey to Taylor already and said that Tay deserves better. Yesterday, Casey posted on the Instagrammies. Basically, he and TT went to his old job. His old job meaning when he worked as a certified nursing assistant. I don't know if his future plans still are to be a nurse practitioner or not, because that would require him to take the courses needed to go to nursing school, and then after nursing school, becoming an RN, and then after that, going to MP school, and then after that, taking the licensure to get your, you know what I'm saying, license as a nurse practitioner. I don't know if KC is still on that track or not, but it sounded like from the former coworkers, they basically were saying, listen, looky here, Casey's no longer going to be working with us, with the elderly, because he's going to focus primarily on full-time content creation. But I don't know if nursing is still in the plans, right? Now, I didn't pay too much about what the caption said or didn't say. What went viral was who liked the post and who left a comment, right? So, fans were also mad at Trinity because Trinity liked the post, and they felt that meant Trinity is being disloyal. No. Then, here is what got the people upset, you guys. Carl left not one, but two comments on Casey's page. The first one said, "This is why you're my mom's favorite," with tears in the eyes emoji, watery eyes emoji. Casey responds and tags him and basically says, "Mom knows best," with fingers crossed emoji. And then there was another comment that Carl had left as well with praising hands emoji. So I want to say this. This cast is not the same as season 7, where y'all can start these hate trains, y'all can start these draggings on these islanders and cause these islanders to unfollow or not associate with each other anymore. I don't believe that's going to happen with this cast. It seems like this cast has made an agreement. We're not going to publicly disparage each other. We're not going to publicly drag each other. We're all going to go along to get along, all of this and all of that. But here is the thing. Here's a couple of things that I want to provide some nuance and context, because there's been a lot of backlash that has also spilled over to ANIYA and to Carl's mom that we're also going to get into. Carl has liked multiple posts on Casey's page, and Casey has not acknowledged them at all. Casey has paid them all basically complete dust. But now that is the time for opportunities for brand deals to, have a good PR image, because I believe recently Casey has a PR team. So it is good PR for Casey for Carl to comment and show support like this on his channel, on his platform. It validates Casey, just like with Sincere and Carl being close. It's helping improve Sincere's image. And notice Sincere and Melanie are still being low-key, are not confirming anything about their relationship as of Neil, but because of all the negativity and the backlash and the hatred. So ultimately, what has happened is because Carl is validating KC fans, some of the KC fans, primarily the ones that are on Twitter, the KC FC fans, they took Carl's comment about "this is why you're my mom's favorite" and basically made it seem, they twisted it around, flipped it and reversed it, and they said, oh, this means Carl's sick of ANIYA. Carl can't wait to break free of ANIYA. Casey was not bad after all. Casey was such a good guy. The comments that he made about ANIYA were overblown, were over-exaggerated, was people just finding things to be upset about, to hate about. But because Carlito, Carlington is all up in Casey's post like a fan, we're all family now. Except for ANIYA and KC still do not follow each other. Except for, you know what I'm saying, up until this point, KC has said nothing about any of the hate trains from his fan base that are against ANIYA, or the fact that him and TT have camped out on the Tickety Talk lives of other black creators that specifically say disgusting and disparaging things about ANIYA and TT. And Casey's in the comments talking about I really needed to hear this right now. This is my support system right now. No. And so now we gotta go look at the comments, because some people have made their way over to Carl's mom's page. So now the comments on Carl's mom's page are like, "I hope your family isn't using ANIYA. If so, you will be doomed. We all hope so that, ANIYA's not being used, but ANIYA will be great regardless," and everything else. You've lost your mind. Then there was a spam account that was just posting all these tomatoes. That Carl should free ANIYA. Tell Carl to free ANIYA. And everything else, you guys. And then people are trying to, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to clean it up and say that real ANIYA fans, real ANIYA angels, because that's what she calls her fan base, are loving you down, are not in support of any of this. And then somebody else said, we are not happy with what your son is doing. And please tell us why Casey is your favorite. It's ANIYA from now on. ANIYA Angels, let's focus. So Casey is your favorite. Let me unfollow you and Carl real quick. It is giving fake. So here's what I feel like these Islanders need to understand. Is we do not have context. We do not have nuance as far as the why, the who, what, where, when, why, and how Carl and Casey are good. You know what I'm saying? Because there were some shots that were thrown on the show on Casey's side, but it always felt like Carl was still trying to have conversations with Casey while pursuing his connection with ANIYA, right? But we ultimately do not know what happened at that reunion. We also know that Carl's mom and ANIYA's mom were both out in LA for multiple days. I do not know if they were in attendance in the audience at the reunion or not. And if that is the context behind Carl's mom saying Casey was her favorite, that maybe she liked how he conducted himself at the reunion, or if she is saying Casey is her favorite from the show, or if Casey is her favorite for the fact that he worked in healthcare and took care of elderly patients. However, there are some extreme ANIYA fans. There's extreme fans in every fan base. There's no one fan base that is demure, that is keeping it cute and mute and everything else. All y'all messy. All y'all got crazies in y'all fan base. So what we're not going to do is try to single out a fan base. However, in ANIYA's fan base, they call themselves the Angels, but they also have a second fan base that also follows and stalks everything ANIYA does. And they are called the Fallen Angels, right? I want to believe in my heart of hearts that it is not actual ANIYA Angels that are going to Carl's comments, that are going to Carl's mom's comments and talking crazy like this. And that it is the fake ANIYA supporters that are having the audacity to do this. Because see, the other side of this as well is there are people who are specifically following ANIYA and Carl's journey to see them fail, to see them break up, to see Carl play in ANIYA's face, to see that Carl does not really like ANIYA. That is what some of these people that are following ANIYA on purpose and following Carl on purpose and even potentially following his mom on purpose, to see when is going to be the day that Carl embarrasses ANIYA, that Carl plays ANIYA, that Carl hurts ANIYA. And so what happens is with these new set of fans, because I'm going to say it, if this happened before season 6, this would be a nothing burger. Some people would try to blow it up and go viral, you know what I'm saying? But it would quickly be diffused. But after the explosion of season 6, and after the chaos of Stan Wars in season 7 and all of the friendship breakups and all of the relationship breakups, everyone's out for self. Everyone's a clout chaser. Everybody's in a brand. It's all a competition on who gets the most brand deals and not who has the best healthy relationship for a show called Love Island. So what has happened now is there are some ANIYA fans, ANIYA Angels, that are taking a step back from Carnaya. That they're going to love ANIYA. They're not going to disparage anybody. But the pedestal that y'all put Carl on was no longer realistic. And I kind of blame Peacock too for that, because you really sold Carl like he was so perfect, that he makes no mistakes, that he does nothing wrong. And I'm here to tell y'all, there's no such thing as perfection. There's no such thing as a perfect person. But a lot of y'all wanted to run with that, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason. That he's Prince Charming, he's so nice, he's so kind, he's not messy. Y'all see him out the villa, he is out here cursing, you know what I'm saying? He is a regular guy. He is a regular schmegular guy. Is hanging out with the Casa people, including the Casa people that were liking messy posts about ANIYA. Including the Casa people that had slick SHIT to say about ANIYA after the Casa recoupling. Carl is thick as thieves with the Casa people. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, ANIYA genuinely is a sweet person. ANIYA genuinely is a sweetheart. She likes to see the good in people, and I believe that is why she still continued to try things with Casey till the wheels fall off. Even if there was issues and problems, she was hoping things were going to turn around for them. And unfortunately, she got played, she got humiliated, she got embarrassed. But I think now ANIYA has moved on from all of that and is fully given in to Carl. But what Carl has to understand with these newfound fans and the lack of content, the lack of interviews, the lack of social media presence that this cast in particular has, anything you say or do on this internet is going to be dissected. Anything you say or do on social media is going to be manipulated to fit a narrative. And so if you are doing all this hyping up of Casey and Casey has not giving you back the same energy, it is going to look like the Casey fans, Casey never did anything wrong, and it validates what you said on Watch What Happens Live. And then people twist that around to basically make it seem like ANIYA's the one that is out of pocket. That ANIYA's the one who is crazy and insane and loco. And people are now trying to again question your interest in ANIYA. And if you really like her, or if you are pretending to like her for whatever opportunities or advancements that come your way. These are the narratives that happen with these fans when they are still holding on to what has happened on the show. And if they feel that there has not been proper resolution since they've seen the show and since they've seen some of the interviews and appearances on After Sun where Casey went on After Sun and still was calling ANIYA fragile and that their connection was not organic and all of the things, and then they see your comments on his page after you made the locker room comments and Watch What Happens Live, people are pissed. People are pissed. Now, I don't know what has happened in real time, you know what I'm saying, with Carl and ANIYA, but it seems as though ANIYA is still trying to give Carnaya crumbs because her background's marketing, y'all. Her background is marketing, and she is telling her supporters, listen, look at here. I'm off to San Diego. And after that, there's going to be a special trip in the future that you guys are going to like. So that potentially tells me either her and Carl are going to Disney World for the Princess and the Frog extravaganza, or they're going to vacation for a week or so in Nantucket, or they're going to Japan, or they're going to Denver, is what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. So that sounds like to me, whatever has happened, y'all are not going to get a public reaction out of ANIYA and Carl. But I'm going to need Carl to understand that anything you say and do on this internet, and I would think that you'd know by now and understand by now, it's going to get dissected. It's going to get dissected. It is going to be flipped and reversed. And if it's especially coming from KC fans, any validation you're giving to KC, they're going to use it against ANIYA. And so now what has resulted in this is another hate train against ANIYA. And that's the part I do not like. is ANIYA is the one that has to pay the price for all of this, and it's not fair to her. And ultimately, now what's happening is other men are being compared, even in the core four, that are basically saying, even Bryce isn't acting like this on the outside. Even Sincere isn't acting like this on the outside. And da-da-da-da-da. Even Zack Attack is getting it together on the outside and isn't doing all of this. Because remember, Bryce said that he reached out to KC, and KC, you know what I'm saying, left him on red. And even he's not doing any of this. And so that's where you have to be careful, Carl, and you have to understand that the type of fans that this show has increased to, you're on the top show on Peacock that is attracting millions of viewers worldwide, is getting record-breaking numbers every season since season 6. The numbers have been climbing, which means there are tons of eyeballs, tons of people across all social media platforms that are invested in y'all. Good and bad. Invested in y'all. So anything you say or do on this internet that they feel they can use against you to try to justify that you're not really into ANIYA or that you're going to play or hurt ANIYA, they're going to take that opportunity. And the quickest way that happens is, and here's the thing, you could have just liked KC's post. You could have just liked KC's post or just left a comment, you know what I'm saying, like a heart emoji, like this is nice, this is sweet, going back to your job, all the things. But when you say you're my mom's favorite and your mom just posted all that Karnaya content and really has taken a liking to ANIYA, now KC fans are like, oh, he didn't say that my mom said that you're one of her favorites. He said that his mom said that you're her favorite, meaning favorite over ANIYA. And that's what the fans do, Carl. That is what the fans do. Is basically they're going to find a way to make it a slight against ANIYA and drag her. So ultimately, I hope this is the last time this happens with Carl. You know what I'm saying? And we could just keep it moving and keeping pushing, because the other side too is I never saw KC in Carl's comments or Carl's likes. And the other side as well is Carl was following Soul for a while, and I was of confusion of that because every which way she's always throwing shade at ANIYA and everything else and Melanie, and I was of confusion why he was ever following her. But anyways, that is it for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. Hype the video like you never hyped a video before in your life. There is that. That is it. That is all. It's todos es final. Es finito. Es the end the road. Es the end the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.